So, Sir Hans, allow me to...
Hold on, Sir Ulrich. If you think everything is settled between us, and we're gonna act like nothing happened, then you're mistaken.
Sir?
You were going to have me executed a short while ago. I expect a proper apology.
Then please accept my apology once more, sir. But given the circumstances...
Given the circumstance? What circumstances?
Sir, poaching is a capital offence.
And are you the king? That you can hand down death sentences? No, you are not. What's more, you had plenty of reasons to realise it wasn't a good idea.
Sir, I could not have realised that.
You couldn't have realised? Yes, you could, but then you wouldn't have been able to play the Lord and stage private executions.
Sir, once more I apologise. And now, please allow me to show you to your quarters.
I wouldn't dream of inconveniencing you. I'll find my quarters by myself. Henry, once you're done with that annoying fool, get your horse and we'll meet at the gate.
Well, it seems Lord Capon will not be requiring my services anymore today.
Please excuse him. He's been through a lot, as I'm sure you understand.
It is understandable, of course. I was just hoping that our relationship would be a bit warmer after that, regrettable misunderstanding. Nevertheless, welcome to Trusky, the finest and biggest castle you shall ever see. Rumor has it that the castle was built on the jaws of hell, and that we're sometimes plagued by demons here. But don't believe a word of it. It's just idle talk to excuse the servants' laziness and incompetence. It's demanding enough keeping everything here running smoothly without any of that. It requires a man of exceptional qualities and talents. By the way, this place is a maze for strangers. It's very easy to get lost.
Careful.
The jail cells are down there. But I believe you are already fairly well acquainted with that part of the castle, aren't you?
Seems like you're in a good mood. Ulster's not troubling you anymore.
I'm better, thank you very much. But you can keep that little matter to yourself.
Good doggy, good boy.
Here it is. You'll find a bed inside, opposite the door, and a chest where we put your belongings. You'll find some new clothing there, a little gift from our gracious lord, to ensure you're not mistaken for a beggar again. Once you're settled in and properly dressed, stop by the stables. They're beyond the gate, down the path. Ask for Kabat. He was supposed to prepare a horse and tack for you, or tell him you'll keep your own if you insist. Then he'll give you proper tack at least, so you don't disgrace us.
Thanks. I'm grateful.
As you should be. So, you and I are finished, and I can finally attend to some proper work, so this castle doesn't fall on our heads.
God be with you. Keep the peace, and we'll stay friends.
God be with you. How's the watch going?
Not bad, so far.
I heard some interesting books from Prague have arrived at the castle. There's one I'd like to borrow. An alchemist's cookbook. A sand-coloured cover, embossed.
Yes, several rare and astonishing books have arrived from Prague. But why are you interested in an alchemist's cookbook, of all things?
I've heard there are some interesting ideas in it. Every alchemist is in dogged pursuit of wisdom, especially those from Prague.
Perhaps you know more about that book than I do. Well, I'll have to disappoint you. Lord Nickvard Libak helped me sort the new books at the time, and the one you're looking for caught his attention. He left with it before I could even discover what it's about. All I remember is the author's initials, B.B. I'm fairly benevolent when it comes to lending books, and I appreciate Nickvard's help, but he's had it borrowed for an excessive amount of time now. I'd like to ask him to return it, but he's been avoiding me.
Why would Nickvard suddenly be avoiding you?
I have a sneaking suspicion. It seems Nickvard lost the book. I've warned him repeatedly not to carry borrowed books around with him, but to leave them in his chamber and read them there. But Nickvard is old and stubborn, and this is how things turn out.
The price of such a book must be incalculable. People like Nickvard are too dumb to understand.
But I digress. As I said, Nickvard is intentionally avoiding me. But I've made headway. I've managed to find 3 people who've spoken to him recently. Bertha the cook, Regina the maid, and Hirsch the hand.
For a nobleman, Nickvard is quite wary of his own kind, speaking only to servants.
I'm surprised that he's ever spoken to anyone but myself. Nickvard is a loner, which is also why I suspect something bad has happened. Now that he's decided to leave his shell, that is. But I'm afraid that's all I've managed to find out. Since Lord von Berkov's arrival, I've been preoccupied with other matters.
I'll help you. I'll ask all 3 and see if they lead me to Nickvard.
Many thanks. If you aren't sure what to do, stop by and we'll discuss what you found out.
Before I go,
Who, exactly?
you said Nickvard. Where at the castle?
Nickvard lives like a hermit here. His chambers are in the Crone's Tower. But God knows he took his meals down in the Crone's kitchen. Lately, I've often seen him talking to Regina or looking out the hall window. I caught sight of him.
So I just have to hope I run in?
Nickvard always just shows up. I'm not surprised you can't find him anywhere.
Where is Bertha?
Bertha cooks for us in the Crone's kitchen. If you can't find her there, try the first house in the lower castle, across from the door to the dungeon.
Where is Regina?
As Lord von Berkoff's personal maid, perhaps in the Knight's Hall, or on the floor above it.
Where is Hirsch, the
I've seen him with Hirsch at the transport yard. He sleeps in the house directly across from...
That's everything I needed to know.
Careful!
Christ, pardon me. Huh?
Jesus Christ be praised.
I'm looking for Nickvard. The scribe told me...
Well, I brewed him another phial of medicine. But I told him to stop by for another one soon. I reckon...
Did he say where he was...
I can't say. I promised Lord Libac his secret is safe.
Oh, come now. Nickvard misplaced an important book somewhere. I need to find...
I remember the recipes by heart. And Lord Libac's secret...
Well, if a nobleman's secret is worth so much, how about this? That'll buy you more than one book.
I suppose Lord Libac wouldn't mind. And do you have the exact amount?
Of course.
So many groschen. I promise I'll split it with Lord Libac when I see him, and I'll explain everything.
But now tell me, what's the medicine for?
Well, it's a common potion for a bellyache. Just better tasting. It helps your meals go down easier and come out slower the other end. In that regard, Lord Libac had, well, how to say it? Everything came out much too quickly.
Just say it. He shot himself.
It was in the privy down below the Crone, by the training ground below the guardhouse. I helped him clean his hose and made him the medicine, and I promised that I wouldn't say anything. Lord Libac is quite particular about the impression he makes on the young maids, you know. He didn't want this little episode to put them off. That's why he didn't use the privy near the maids' quarters, though it's closer to his chamber, but to the arena instead, and only when there weren't any soldiers around. But this time, it caught up with him.
Is that all?
What else is there to say? That the entire time he looked as if he'd done the worst thing in the world. It happens to the best of us, and I told him as much then. I'm just surprised he never came back for another phial. I must say, he did look as if the fate of the entire castle was suddenly on his shoulders.
I don't know if this is going to do me any good.
Well, you could have found a worse clue.
Thanks anyway. Greetings, Master Guard.
What the?
I'm always glad to see polite people like...
Greetings. Do you need something?
Do you know where I can find Nickvard? The scribe said you might know.
Erazim is suddenly interested in Nickvard and me. You don't say. But when I need him to read something for me, he never has the time. I'm sorry.
I was asking about Nickvard.
Aye, I heard.
I can.
In that case, would you mind reading this message I have from Nickvard?
Show me. Dear Mistress of the Chambers. What is it?
Oh, what I wouldn't give to get messages from someone else. Say, Lord Capon. Never mind. Read on. Though I reckon it interests you more than me.
Persevere. We shall soon escape the dungeon of those two women. Cursed fate, however, has placed an obstacle in my way. The heat of the Lightbringer's potion is working, and I can feel my insides being reborn. But when the last remnants of old age left my body, something else was washed away with them.
How much longer is it?
Not much. My damn clumsiness has sent all of the Lightbringer's secrets into the void, but fear not, I shall get them back. May this be the first task on the road to your liberation. That's it.
Beautiful.
True enough. Nickvard has a flair for the dramatic.
My, that's Liebach for you.
But what does it mean? Can you explain any of it to me?
Lord Liebach has taken a liking to me. I suggested to him it wasn't proper for a noble to have an affair with a maid. He thought I meant he was too old for me. But then he found what he calls the Lightbringer's potion book. He said it would light a flame in him that would burn out all that's old. So I suppose it worked. Hooray!
I know the book he's talking about, but what does he mean, into the void?
Look, can we stop talking about this? I feel a little uncomfortable here talking about some old lovelorn nobleman.
I need help. You can give it some thought, can't you?
No! And now leave me alone.
Done unto me according to thy word. Hail Mary, and the word was made flesh. Pray for us, O Lord of God. Pour forth, we beseech thee, O Lord, thy grace into our hearts, that we, to whom the incarnation of Christ, thy Son, was made known by the message of an angel, may by his passion and cross be brought to the glory of his resurrection. Through the same Christ our Lord. Amen.
Greetings. What would you like?
If I sin before God, is there any way I can atone for my sins?
Well, well, well. Have you got a guilty conscience, friend? You can pay the indulgence in the scribe's box, or you can take the path of repentance and go on a pilgrimage. It will improve your reputation with people, but beware. Making a pilgrimage does not erase your crimes in the eyes of the law, nor does it release you from paying a fine. Always keep that in mind.
I've sinned, Father. I want to purify my soul in the eyes of God and repent.
Your soul is pure, son. Do you really wish to make a penitence pilgrimage?
I'll do it, as a token of my love for God.
Not far from Troskovitz, you will find a conciliation cross by a rock, under which the body of a suicide was found.
I heard it wasn't suicide.
Do not listen to idle talk and pray for the salvation of the poor soul. Perhaps you too shall find redemption.
What penance do you give me?
Bless yourself and say the Lord's Prayer.
All right, Father. I'll go. How long have you been here in Trusky, Father?
Well, it's been quite a few years. But if you are interested in local history, you should go...
I noticed there's no church in Troskovitz, or anywhere nearby. Why's that?
It's true. You'll find the closest one in Uyezd, or in Trotsky we only have the chapel in the castle tower. In short, this domain is the middle of nowhere.
How do things work?
You mean who runs things?
Yeah, I see that.
Then you should watch out especially for Lady Yitka. She's a pious woman, but also damned firm and strict on the... Her husband is in charge of the castle garrison, and then Captain Thomas is responsible for... He's an old soldier and an upright fellow. Even if he does. And the ruler of the roost here is the Chamberlain, Ulrich.
What is Sirot?
What can I tell you? Lord, he brought money to the region, restored and yet he spends most of his time... He's the Royal Chamberlain.
I understand.
That's not what I said. The old Chamberlain, Ulrich, manages the estate and he's deaf.
But
numbers and accounts aren't everything. One should also think about the salvation of one's... But that young man is
I'd like to learn...
What are you...
Tell me some news from the world.
Fine, but it'll take some time. Careful.
Excuse me?
Good afternoon.
I'm here for some horse tack. I hear you have something for me.
Well, fuck me blind. You got out of jail yesterday and today you've got a horse. Fuck, I wouldn't mind having your kind of luck. But you're fucking things up for me and making a mess. And I don't want to get a whipping on your account. I've got the tack ready, but I've been ordered to show you our herring first. You can take him, they said. So kindly take a look at him in the stable here and tell me if you want him or not. It was good to see you, my friend.
Heel! I took a look at herring.
And?
A nice animal, but I'll keep my own.
Never mind looking a gift horse in the mouth, you flat out refuse to accept one. You're lost though, pal. Actually, now we've got to know each other, I want to let you in on this little scheme. We could both get something out of it. But you'd have to keep it to yourself. What do you say? Can you keep your mouth shut when coin's at stake?
I can keep my mouth shut. You can count on it. What's this about coin, then?
Look, it's easy as pie. You keep your horse, which you wanted to do anyway, but I'll say you took Herring, and then I'll sell him to someone. You'll do all right out of it. I'll pay you up front.
Well, I might be interested, but I deserve a bigger cut. I'm not new to all this, so I'm well aware that the first offer to an accomplice is deliberately low, just in case he accepts. So forget about that, and make it worth my while. Because you'll get a tidy sum for a horse like that.
I didn't expect you to be so savvy. But you're not wrong. I'll give you double my first offer. I reckon that's fair.
Me too.
Right, now we can get back to the reason you're here. You know how to ride and control a horse?
Don't worry. I'm right at home with horses. I learned to ride with cumans on my tail, and arrows whistling past my head. A tough school it was.
Well, I'll be damned. I never heard such a thing before. But even an experienced horseman like you needs equipment, as you well know. You can tack him up yourself, right?
Sure. Thanks.
Farewell.
Good day to you.
I'm looking for Nickvard. The scribe told me you might...
Hey, Nick. I mean, Lord Libac. I suppose his task was...
What do you mean, for...
Nick Libac, that is, entrusted me with a big task. He's a castle lord, obviously. But then I heard what another castle lord was planning. He says there's a war on.
I need to know more about what Nick...
No.
I understand, sure.
A sword.
Sword? What sword?
A long and very good one to help. If you bring it to me, I'll know you're not an enemy. Forge one, buy one, or even maybe from one of the guards at the training ground or down by the gate.
Steal a sword?
Not a spy who wants to help von Burgos, my servant. Once I get a sword, I'll...
Listen, Hirsch.
Don't try any word games on me. Deeds talk louder than words.
I'll gladly give you some groschen to...
Only spies. Unless you had more groschen, then I'd believe you ain't one of them.
I'm not going to pay you that much.
You want to hang on to your...
I'll think of a way... About Nick.
Got that sword.
You wanted a sword?
I don't want an invisible sword.
I'll think of a...
Come to think of it, it was him who told me.
A thief! Catch him! Stop that! Don't move! Halt! I heard they're going to cut down the old oak.
About...
Got that sword.
You wanted a...
I don't want an invisible sword.
I'll think of...
Aye, but the weather had been stormy for a few days. Did you hear that?
Good to see you.
I'd like to learn a...
Why not? If you are not afraid of fistfights, I'll show you a little trick. I was taught it by a good old Franciscan.
That sounds good.
But of course, first, you kick your opponent between the legs and pretend you're losing your balance. But at that moment, you swing the back of your hand. It won't put a blow down, but it'll give you... Now come and try it if... All good?
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
Good doggy. Good boy.
Greetings.
What do you have?
Good day. What would you like?
I need to take a load off.
What'll it be this time, Henry?
I could use the company of a pretty bath maid.
Great, but it'll cost you.
I'll gladly pay you.
Excellent. I'm sure you'll be very satisfied. That second round was on the house. See you next time, handsome. Oh, you mutt.
Want me to arrest you? You light a torch. And lo, there was light, and he saw that it was good.
Day to you.
About Nickford.
Got that sword?
You wanted a sword?
That's perfect. Lovely. I don't think you're a spy. Can't say for sure, but you seem all right.
What about Nickford, then?
Nickvard asked me to do something for him. He must have admired my devotion to Lord von Bergoth. Either way, Nick looked troubled and not very healthy. He wanted me to fetch him something he lost outside the castle, and I told him I would. At least I could check to see if anyone was sneaking around about the castle. But then Nickvard clutched his belly and ran off. So I never found out what he wanted, or from where.
That's all?
Aye. If you run into Nickvard, ask him if he still needs it or whether he found it himself. I'll be going into war soon, so I don't have time for these things, see?
I'll tell him. About that lost al...
Please tell me you've...
Not yet.
Tell me what you've learned.
It looks like Nikvar brewed some... He told Regina it would restore his youth, but the potion didn't sit well with him. He must have spent a lot of time on the privy at the training grounds below the Crone. Bertha brewed a digestive potion for him, but it didn't work. When he wasn't shitting or writing notes to servants, he asked Hirsch to bring him something from beyond the castle walls. He lost something there, and then he vanished without a trace.
What do you think about it?
You said that Nikvard had a habit of carrying books everywhere with him. If that was the case with the alchemy one, it's possible it fell down the latrine while he was shitting by the training ground. And now it's lying somewhere on the cliffs beyond Trotsky.
That actually sounds quite likely to me. Let's pray he didn't use it to wipe himself. Go there and look. Perhaps you'll find the book, and Nikvard too.
God be with you.
You must be Nikvard,
I
eh?
hope someone pays for a requiem
Poor
mass.
wretch.
It's starting to stink. Where's that damn crate?
How many more times am I gonna have to poke around in corpses and shit for that damn crazy?
Stop! We won't have anyone desecrating the dead around here. Ah! Ah! Come on then! You won't escape punishment!
Sick!
Ah! You don't fight with guards, you fool. You surrender to them. Show your
Enough!
stuff.
I give up!
What's the meaning of this?
How dare you? A man of my...
Oh, Now you'll see that crime doesn't pay.
Greetings.
You.
Sand-coloured cover, embossed. That'll be the book Crazel wants, but it's quite ordinary. Apart from being covered in shit.
Did you hear about what happened at the big wheel?
Greetings.
Is there any work around the castle I can help with?
Well, there's the issue with the demons.
Demons?
Quiet! I don't want to cause a panic, but yes, unfortunately. Once again, devils are wreaking havoc at Trotsky.
You mean horned ones? From hell?
Do you know any other kind? I'm preoccupied with tasks from Lord von Berghoff at the moment, so I don't have time to deal with it. But I suppose you could do it? You and that friend of yours have a lot to make up for.
You want me to get involved with hell itself? At least tell me more about it.
Ah, you know the times we're living in. War, bandits. The devil took advantage of the chaos and sent his hellspawn here. The castle is built upon an ancient, though fortunately extinguished, fiery moor. It's no wonder it's so close to hell. The spawn of hell shows up here from time to time, and I want you to improve your standing with me and help me out.
Real-life demons, eh? I don't believe in those. Maybe you just have some bats in the belfry.
Have you ever seen the castle during a proper thunderstorm? How God strikes the cliffs with lightning to drive the beasts back underground? I can see you're inexperienced and are taking the matter lightly. Pray it won't cost you dearly.
This'll be my first time seeing a real demon. If I actually see one, that is. So what needs to be done?
Our cooks, Manietta and Berto, were complaining about the creatures running around their kitchens. Ossiner, the castle blacksmith, was also blabbering something of the sort as well. The good news is it's only 3 people, for now. We have to act quickly to prevent the panic from spreading any further.
What did you do about it in the past? I reckon this isn't the first time you've had to deal with it.
We usually cleansed the infested places with the help of a priest or an apothecary. Except for that one year when Sir Otto himself faced Lucifer in the Maiden Tower.
Lord von Berghoff has my admiration, then. How long did they fight? And what kind of armour was Lucifer wearing? Did Lord von Berghoff sustain any injuries?
In any case, you'll have to ask Manietta and Berta, or the blacksmith perhaps, where the demons are coming from. And then simply make sure to get rid of them for good. You understand? I'm sure both the scribe Erazim and Father Nicodemus will have something to say about it as well. The question is if you're up to it, or if I should call in someone braver.
I'm ready to scour the castle and try to chase those monsters away. Could you arrange for me to be able to go wherever I want in the castle, without anyone chasing me out?
Very well. You can move freely about the castle while completing this task, but don't stay any longer than necessary in otherwise forbidden areas. I let the guards and servants know discreetly. If anyone asks, tell them you have my permission.
You said something about a priest and an apothecary. Should I pay them a visit?
We've always used either holy water or magic water from the apothecary to get rid of those hellish creatures. Which one would you prefer?
I'll try the water from the apothecary.
He supposedly went all the way to the Takoff waterfall to collect it during the full moon. I believe you can do it. Should the demons attack you, just run away. But don't make too much of a ruckus, or you cause a panic.
So, Master Chamberlain, are you feeling better?
I don't want to hex it, but I'm a lot better. I even managed to finally lie down and close my eyes for a while.
That's good. It's a sign that your humours are back in balance.
I'll be careful, thank you.
Does the name...
Yes, but I haven't...
Nick Vard is lying dead outside Trotsky. He apparently overestimated his strength while...
Are you serious?
I came to tell you I managed to find Nick Vard.
Where did that madman wander off to this time?
He's dead. I found him lying below the privy outside Trotsky Castle. Poisoned, exhausted, or both. Hard to say.
My God! Nick, you fool! Did you report it to the Chamberlain?
Yes, I've already told him.
That's good. Thank you. What about that book?
With regard to that book...
You know what? I couldn't care less about that blasted book. That cursed tome. I'll actually be glad if I never get my hands on it. Forgive me.
I hear there are demons causing trouble at the castle again.
Again? Is anyone sprinkling yet?
Aye. Me.
That's the only thing that works.
What do you think of all this?
Occasionally, I hear the servants telling stories that sound like they're taken straight out of a Cistercian penitential. Even Gregory the Great, Gregory of Tours, Caesarius of Heisterbach, or Jacobus de Vorgine all share a similar view of unholy forces. The devil, as the enemy of both God and man, makes every effort to seduce the soul onto the road to hell, and to harm people however he can. How do you imagine the forces of evil?
A pig's face. Warts all over, and a nasty smell coming from its mouth. Kind of like your mum.
My mum's dead.
So's mine.
Anything else?
What kind of tasks do you do for Lord von Berghoff?
Rare ones, lad. His lordship spends little time at Trotsky. As the royal chamberlain, he has to be in Prague most of the time.
What does the Royal Chamberlain do?
I understand, lad.
Yeah, exactly.
Sir Otto von Burgo is the royal He manages the royal town.
Why did...
Because that's Prague, if you want to. Mortimer.
Excuse me.
And what else?
But now...
Jobstus. Wenceslas. Yes, indeed. He might.
Why doesn't Lord von Berghoff free...
It's
All right.
Briefly...
Or maybe you could start with...
That's obvious, isn't it? King Wenceslas's rejection of our... A year ago, they secretly took...
So von Berg...
Not at all. I think that's why Lord...
Who are among Wenceslas...
Who do you think? The most powerful are...
But we, sir...
Exactly. On the contrary...
Lord von Berghoff, I've been told to deal with the demons plaguing the castle. Are they really?
They've been and call him that hellish.
I can't imagine.
But he soon realized many.
Why don't you put us?
The castle is situated. We have no choice but to try.
Greetings, Henry.
All the best, Catherine.
You too.
God bless.
Good day to you.
I have the book for you.
Well, I must admit, I haven't had an apprentice this handy in a long time. Zinnik has nothing on you.
I didn't even look inside.
You had a treasure like this in your hands, and you weren't even curious to have a peek? Well, I suppose it's not for everyone. I'll have a look for myself. This really is something. But why is it all covered in shit, for fuck's sake?
But the essence of life from the skies didn't bother you, and now you're squeamish.
Oh, refining saltpeter. Boil wine and alum. Grind. Ah, of course, it makes sense. I'll study the rest on the way. Well, the last chapter of our story of knowledge awaits us. The grand finale.
So what now?
Charcoal. As long as Black Bertolt didn't make any mistakes in...
What Bertolt? Oh, God damn it, Crazer. What's going on? I'm tired of flying back and forth like a rag on a stick.
Believe it or not, all this secrecy had its time. We'll meet with the others. You go ahead.
All right, then.
Hail Mary.
I came.
Where did that?
He's poisoned.
My God, did you
Not yet.
Once, what about that?
About that.
You know what? That cursed. Forgive me.
I hear.
Again, is anyone?
Oh,
that's the only.
What do you?
Occasion, even Gregory the how do you?
A pig's face. Kind of like your.
My mum's dead. Anything else?
What?
Rare one.
What?
Yeah. So he managed.
Why?
Because that's Prague. If you want Mortimer.
Excuse.
And what else? But Jobst Wenceslas. Yes, he might.
Why? It's. Why did they?
That's and when that's that's. But King when he preferred it was only a year. They secret.
So von.
Not. I think. Who do you think the most?
But we.
Exactly. On the.
I'd like to.
What do you?
I'd like.
I'll tell you. I'm sorry.
I heard the castle is haunted by demons again, Nicodemus. Did they bother you too?
They did indeed. A few days ago, I was in the chapel, deep in prayer. Fac mihi hominium. Swear an oath of allegiance to me.
My God. What did you say to it?
I laughed in the face of the Prince of Darkness. Would you not rather renounce your slavery and return to heaven? I told him. Without hesitation, he replied, better to rule hell than to be a slave in heaven. And then he disappeared, veiled in a terrible, foul-smelling smoke.
Whew. That sounds horrifying. But anyway, like I said, I was told to sprinkle water. If they dare try that even on a man of faith, nothing else will help.
I'm glad you have faith in the Lord, and not in some old wives' tales. Now take up your task, and rid us of that hellspawn. May the Lord guide you. Till we meet again.
God.
God bless.
I have the book for you.
Well, I
had a peek inside. The pictures are nice, but what do you want to learn from them?
You'll find out soon enough. Show me that miraculous thing. This really is what...
Got the essence of life from the...
Oh, refined. Well...
So what now?
As long...
What? I'm tired.
Believe it? It's time. You go ahead.
All right then. happen now?
Our last supper, with only one but very filling course, awaits us.
Crazel, please. For once, just once, tell me what's actually going on.
And rob myself of enjoying your blissful ignorance? Not a chance. Tell me yourself, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, to tell the truth, I'm not expecting anything good. We're in a remote place. One of me, 3 of you. You've got no use for me anymore. So you'll try to get rid of me like an inconvenient witness.
That'd be too easy. It'd be more torture to listen to another of Crazel's lectures.
Well, maybe I do talk about my interests a bit too much. But today will be different. Bonnie will start today. At least I'll finally see if she understood my teachings. Bonnie?
First of all, I'd like to thank you on behalf of the whole gang for all the work you've done. We could never have finished the job without you. We found 2 new partners, you and Monarch here. It's good to have someone to rely on. So, it's time we started being honest with you, so you can finally learn the whole truth.
Not yet. Let's pull up that uppity bastard's leg a bit longer. That's the fun part!
No, Z-Neck. First of all, I rather like them legs of his. And secondly, I think we've put him through enough suffering. This whole time, you've been collecting ingredients and clues for us. But, so you wouldn't go nosing around, we always told you it was for something different than it actually was.
The miller here calls it tackets.
Tactics, you idiot. And everything worked out according to plan. So today we're finally close to our great success. With the help of Hermes Trismegistos and his successors, we'll finally complete the dream of all alchemists. Our magnum opus.
Exactly, Bonnie.
Magnum opus. The great work of alchemy. You're trying to make the Philosopher's Stone.
I see you've learned something after all. But no, the Philosopher's Stone isn't our goal.
Let's see then, Henry. What is it you think we're making here?
The most precious metal of all. Gold.
Well, Henry's not too far from the truth after all, don't you think? Attempts to create gold started it all, but it ended up a little differently. Let's start at the beginning. My father was a miller as well, but I was never much interested in the trade. Even as a young boy, I loved running around Lower Samine and investigating everything living and dead. And I had a lot of questions about everything. And my mother, God rest her soul, decided it'd be best for me to go to study in Prague. As soon as I grew up and gained a bit of sense, I packed my bags and left.
So you went to a university in Prague? The son of a miller?
Why not? My father worked his arse off, and he had the coin for it, miller or not. I met a lot of remarkable people at the university, and my thirst for knowledge kept growing. But in the end, it only took a year of all that pretentious, scholarly blathering and hypocritical nonsense for me to realize I wouldn't learn anything proper there. Most of the students and masters are just a bunch of dogmatic fools. They have their own truth, and those who want to know more or ask the wrong questions fall into disfavor, as was my case.
And what about your thirst for knowledge?
I realized I didn't need the university for things that are truly important. The most important science is not subject to any religious dogma. And, of course, it's not taught at any university.
You mean alchemy?
Exactly. The art of combination and dissolution. The key to understanding the very nature of the world. There's only one queen of science. Alchemy. I returned to the mill in Lower Samine, and started a new life.
Keep it short, Crazel. I just want to know what it is you're doing here. I don't need to know your life story.
You're the one always asking questions. But fine, straight to the point. Once I tried mixing sulfur, charcoal, and saltpeter. I had a candle burning next to me. A gust of wind scattered the mixture, and all of a sudden, bang! I almost shit myself, I tell you. But then I realized I'd unwittingly created a miracle. Explosive black powder.
What is it? So it burns?
More than that, it makes a big bang.
A very big bang. But don't worry, we're all in on it now.
I couldn't continue my experiments on my own, but Bonnie and Zinnig did a few little jobs for me.
So he initiated us.
But we just still didn't know how to do it right and not blow ourselves up in the process.
And we used up a huge amount of saltpeter and sulfur.
By the way, the manuscript from that Hermes Trismegistos was our shopping list and price list for material from Kuttenberg.
Only we didn't know correct proportions. I looked up a few of my former fellow students and brought it up with them. And we found out that before us, some monk had already made the discovery.
Some fella called Black Bertold, and that he even started writing a book called
Feuerwerkbuch.
We can believe our luck when we found out there's a copy of it right here at Trotsky.
And you know the rest.
It's a discovery that will change history. In the right hands, it can make miracles happen. All it takes is a spark, and a storm of fire will sweep away the old world order. It will wipe out stupidity and ignorance, once and for all.
And what will happen now?
As I said, we're about to have our last supper on our journey to satisfy our hunger for knowledge. A feast of smoke and fire. Black Bertold never finished his book, because he never had enough ingredients for his last great experiment. But now, thanks to you, we do. We can finally finish Bertold's work and finish his book. We'll see with our own eyes what a barrel of black powder can do. I hope you're as excited as I am.
I've heard enough. Now I want to see that with my own eyes.
Let's do it then. Bonnie, is everything ready?
Indeed it is. We can get started. Long live the beautiful new world.
Looks like it ain't working.
I'd say it works just fine.
This will change history.
What? I can't hear a thing. But I'd say it works just fine.
You really led me on about the gunpowder magazine, didn't you? A golem made of dough, souls inside saltpeter, the secrets of light and shadow. That was all just empty talk, wasn't it?
Not exactly. It's all based on the real philosophy of the Jewish Kabbalah. I studied the writings of Bonaventura and Dietrich von Freiberg, but it was never in my interest to put their theories into practice. But they worked brilliantly as a cover-up, don't you think?
I really thought you'd have a golem made from dough walking around the mill, or that I could become invisible.
Ah, but black powder is no less a miraculous creation.
So for the last time, Crazel, what now?
I'll do what I promised, and what will most likely be my fate. I'm going to gather together all the knowledge I've acquired and finish Black Berthold's book. I'll finish his opus.
Uh-huh. And what about me?
That's up to you, Henry. You're a free man. Lord Samin has no hold over you, and never did. You know, the inevitability of God's plan takes no interest in people like you and me. We'll always be little people, beneath it all.
Sounds like I went to a lot of trouble for nothing. I didn't really have any influence on anything.
There's no one right path. When you accept that as reality, all your doubts will be dispelled. Maybe it's just time to carry sacks at a different mill. But if you're still interested in learning a bit more, drawing from the well of alchemical knowledge...
I know where to find you.
Indeed.
Black powder? We're in the middle of the forest next to a mill. Who'd have expected exploding trees?
Never judge... Kurva. Anyway, I hope the miller gives us a bit of...
In the worst case, you...
Take care, friend.
Black powder?
Imagine, that monarch of ours is half deaf.
That dog of yours? What does that...
Just that I was wondering that the explosions didn't bother. And now I'm not surprised he was so unhappy with that. But we surely fooled you, eh?
We're in the middle of the forest next to a mill. I'd have expected more like you were cutting the flour with acorns.
We tried that.
So you'd rather go around licking the walls of sties?
Just you wait until I have my own castle and everyone called. Then we can talk about whether it was worth getting. See you later, my friend. You have a kind master, eh?